Well, it's week 4 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I am joined right now by Destiny from Immortals on the very first day here. Destiny, let's talk a little bit about Immortals this split because I feel like even though the team has been having some struggles in some games, it does feel like the players are getting respect that I think they didn't have at the start of the year. So, what has it been like for you, especially since we're halfway through the split right now on Immortals, and what do you think of the progress the team is making?
Yeah, I think we're making good strides in improving. Obviously, we have a mix of like veterans, a mix of rookies. So everybody has come in to like, hey, we've got to be all on the same page and try like build an identity. But yeah, for me myself, I'm really enjoying being in NA. It's a like breath of fresh air for me. Being with people that I've worked with in the past. So yeah, I'm really comfortable here, and I feel like we're improving week to week. So hopefully we can make playoffs. Even though we lost today, I still feel like we're on the right path.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. This is the first time you and I have done an interview, right?
Yeah, this is the first time.
Okay, great. Well, then let's just set aside Immortals for a second. I'd actually love to hear about your history and your backstory because a lot of people I think probably don't know sort of your career.
Okay. Well, I first started in OPL in like 2014, really early 2013. At the time, Chiefs were incredibly dominant. Um, so yeah, I jumped from team to team trying to beat them, and eventually I found the team, which was Direwolves. That had some familiar names. I had Schernfire, who's playing on C9 Academy right now. I had Chippies, who's in Collegiate right now, and King, who's also in C9 Academy. So that roster, we won MSI, we won Worlds. That was 2017. That was kind of like my breakout year, I would say. That's kind of when I got the first taste of international, and it was like a huge hit, like playing from Oceania and then playing international players for the first time. It's just like they're so much better. It's insane. And yeah, once I got that first taste, it kind of hit me. Like I kind of got addicted to League after going international. And like when I played against like C9 at the time, who had like Jensen, Smoothie, Sneaky, like these players that I watched for so long. I've always been like a huge like League fanboy. When I first started, like I looked up to these pros, and to play against them was like it was a huge thing.
I like how you.
Um,
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I like how you were competing for years, and then actually just going and competing internationally. That's when you're like, then I got addicted. I feel like you were
yeah,
probably.
no, that was the hit, Like when I'm
Yeah.
playing domestically in OCE and like I'm losing against the Chiefs who were like winning for like 3 years in a row, like it was like really sad, Like these guys were so strong in this region for so long, and then when we beat them, we went international. We're like, wait, there's another wall, and it's so hard to break. It's something that we like tried for years, Like a lot of OCE players, we tried to make groups, like world group stage, and it's just nearly impossible
Yeah.
because like the gap is just so big. So yeah, when I got the chance to join LEC in like after my Worlds run with Mammoth in 2019, I got the opportunity to go LEC for Origin. That was like something I was really, really happy to have. That was like an opportunity of a lifetime, like for an OS player to play in LEC. I like took it, like no matter what I got offered, like I was going to take it. I knew like that was the best opportunity I could have to grow and improve. And in summer, it was a disaster. I won't lie. I don't really want to talk about summer because like it was quite clear, like with me on the roster and without me, like I think it was like quite clear what happened. But in spring, like I felt like I improved so much, and it felt really good to play alongside players who were as good as they are.
Yeah. Wait, I'll go. I was just gonna say, you were competing. You said in 2013, 2014.
I think I was like underage around then, but
Okay.
like I knew I wanted to go pro.
Okay.
Like because you have to wait till you're 16.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Because I was
uh,
gonna, you were giving me kind of the timeline, and I was like, I remember I was in
yeah,
Australia, and
I remember the interview you did. It was with a player called Kensty, who the following year I actually played with him.
okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that
trying to piece it together. I'm like, did we meet? Because I was at PAX, and like there was the event and all that stuff. I miss the good old days of going there, and I'm actually sad the OPL dissolved before I had a chance to go back and meet everybody because the community there was always so great. Um,
yeah, no, it was really nice at PAX. The people were really nice.
So I know you mentioned some of them, but do you have any other connections with any of the folks that are in the LCS now? Because I think, like, very clearly there was this huge network of all these people that competed and played together and played against each other. Now you're all in LCS, but a lot of the NA fans don't actually know, like, the connections between all of you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just like list all the connections for like all the OS players, I guess, that are in
Yeah.
LCS. So Fudge, I played with him on Mammoth. He was pretty much coming fresh out of academy. One of the best teammates I probably had. He was a really good player, and I'm really happy for him that he's on C9. Lost actually trash talked me in like 2017. When I was on Dials, he said I was like the worst player on the team. And then we like 3-1 them in the final, and I kind of smurfed. So that felt pretty good. But I did lose to him like 3 weeks ago, so I was kind of sad about that. FBI is like a special case because like he only won OPL once, but he was always regarded as like a really really good player, and I think he really showed LCS that he's like a good player. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other in LCS.
What about Spawn?
Spawn, I actually never worked with Spawn, but he's been around. Like he's like the Oath grandfather,
right.
you know? Like he's like the king of Oath, like in terms of casting. But I never got to work with him, which kind of sucks. But he's always been a great guy. Always like advocated for Oceania, which is he's got my respect. He's one of the boys.
It was just funny to see like the Oceania invasion of LCS this year, and to sort of try to place where all of you connected with each other previously. Well, what are your hopes and aspirations now for the LCS? Obviously, I'm sure, much like everybody, you'd love to win. But, you know, for you personally, what are your kind of like personal landmarks and goals, even just this year?
For me individually, obviously, like last year, there's a lot of question marks. Obviously, after being benched and like I had a good spring, but I had a bad summer. Like, what type of player am I? Am I a coin flip? Am I a bad player? Do I just int games? I would say for myself, I just want to advocate that I'm a good player. I'm very confident in myself. I'm very strong with building a team and being on the same page. I like being in environments that I'm happy with. I'm really happy here at Immortals right now. I hope that we can build something great. I just want to improve, and that's just it, really. Like I just want to get as good as I can. Obviously, I would love to win NA, but that would be like a future plan for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm
like
excited.
Going to Worlds is probably the most realistic thing for me right now.
Yeah. Trying to place top 3. Sounds like you're saying. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see how the team shapes up, especially over the next couple of weeks. In fact, I've been kind of asking everybody as a check-in since we're halfway through, but very close to playoffs. Like very strange to be halfway through the split and then, you know, really 2 weeks away. But what are your hopes for the team as you head into playoffs and, you know, that type of stuff?
I'd say coming into playoffs, I just hope that we have a lot of different ways of playing the game. I feel like some teams in LCS right now are you kind of know what they're going to do, right? Like C9 are kind of playing Fudges on like Gragas duty, and they like heavily play around their mid jungle. When it comes to 100 Thieves, I feel like they always play around their bot lane. I feel like the FBI are closer. Like the Huhi, like those 3-man just always do stuff. Like the Monte will TP bot like level 2. I just feel like a lot of teams have very clear win conditions right now. Even TL, I feel like they haven't really been using Alfari that much. And I think they've kind of been struggling. Like they've been trying to play through their bot lane, but their bot lane's been like actually not performing right now. So I think coming into playoffs, a lot of teams are still like figuring out how they want to play. And yeah, I would actually say like Dignitas is actually probably one of the most flexible teams right now, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah. I'm actually curious, why do you think it's crazy? Because I kind of agree with you, but I'm curious your reasoning.
It's just like, well, you just look at the names, right? Like you look at Dignitas and it's 5 NA players that haven't particularly had like the best track records, and they've kind of have like a cohesive way of playing the game right now, and they all have to seem to be on the same page. I don't think anybody expected Dignitas to do this well, so I think what they're doing right now is really, really good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. It's fascinating to sort of see, especially amid all the discussion. Like it's very funny to see how well they're doing. Is there anything, Destiny, that you would like to say to any of the fans out there? And thank you again for this interview, because it's been fun to learn about your history.
No worries. Thank you for the interview. Thank you to all the fans who are watching and supporting us. Really appreciate it. Obviously, it's been a long, rough journey to get here. I'm really happy to be here in NA. Being a resident is a dream. I really like being here, and hopefully I can continue to do great things.
And one quick question, actually. Do you think are you aware of like a group of people back in Oceania that are watching all you guys? Like, are there watch parties or anything? Like, I don't know how many of the fans that previously used to watch are like, you know, staying up and watching this stuff.
Yeah, I would say there's actually like a media outlet called Snowball Esports, and they
I'm
actually
aware.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like very big Oceanic fans, and I think they do great work there. Also like we're still friends with like at least me and Ray's, like we're friends with like some of the OS players that are still there. They still want to like come to NA, you know, like that's their like pipeline.
Yeah.
It's like sad that the OPL dissolved, but at least like I think it's great that they can come into Academy. There's a lot of OS players in Academy, and they can develop properly in the right environment.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully the new league that they're putting down there will still help people develop. So,
Yeah,
nice.
no, the production's actually really good.
Yeah. Well, I know we're running over out of time, so I do want to thank you so much for the interview. Is there anything that you want to say? You already said it. I will just say to you, thank you for the interview. I really do appreciate it. It's been great to chat with you and learn a little bit about your background and also the Oceania stuff. I feel like it's been somewhat undercovered this year, perhaps my own fault. But thank you for the interview, and for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. You know, I've seen a lot of people comment on the length of my hair and beard recently. I think I've even done an outro about it previously. I just want to say I appreciate all the kind words. And if you would like to support the continued growth of this hair, I can tell you that you supporting Alienware by checking out their stuff by going to alienware.com/Travis. Link in the description. Travis10 off is the code that you can use to save 10% off your order. That my hair will continue to grow. And we'll just see how much like a marooned individual I end up becoming. So good, I guess do that if you want. I mean, if you don't, then I would still like it if you appreciated what Alienware does for me and check them out.